Hello there, I'm Gary Sims and this is Gary Explains. Now, computing back in the 1980s and the early 1990s was very different than it was today. Today we live in the leather seat, aircon, autopilot era of computing. But back then things were much simpler, things were much more raw. It was just you and your computer working in blissful harmony. Well, in fact, sometimes it was never blissful harmony, but the point is things were much simpler. And out of that era came some absolutely classic games. If you think about things like Doom, and you think about Duke Nukem, and you think about Wolfenstein, you think about Elite, which of course came out first on the BBC Micro and then got sort of ported across to so many platforms. There were just so many classic games. Now, the good news is you can still play those classic games on your PC today. So if you want to know how to retro game like it was 1985, please let me explain. Okay, so to play our retro gaming, we're going to be using a program called DOSBox. Now, DOSBox is an open source project that's available on many platforms, including Windows and Linux and Mac OS. It's also available for the Raspberry Pi. And if you go over to here to dosbox.com, you can download the version that you need for your PC. Now, I'm going to be showing you this on the Mac, but basically the essentials of what I'm showing you here are the same on every platform that you can get it for. So go ahead and download it for your platform and then just follow the normal installation procedure for your PC. Now, we're also going to need some games to play on our DOSBox, and there are two sites that I'm going to tell you about. One is it would be good to play the original shareware version of Doom. That's an absolute classic for retro gaming. That's 1993. And if you go to archive.org, you can find a version of the shareware there, and you go down here to the zip file. All the different versions are there, and at the time of making this video, version 1.9 is the latest version. So go ahead and download that. And also you should check out a site called abandonwaredos.com. And this has got loads and loads of programs that have been abandoned in the sense they were written in the 80s and in the 90s, and the companies and the people that made them are no longer interested in them. Some of the games listed here are still available for purchase, and if you want to support those companies, you should really go ahead and purchase them. But I'm going to just search for a couple here that are really good. One, of course, is the classic Elite. So you go in here and you can get Elite for DOS, and you can download that. And the other is Arkanoid, the classic kind of breakout game that you can get for the DOS, and you can get that there and download it. So there's be three games: Doom, the shareware version, Elite, and Arkanoid. Now, once you've downloaded them all, you need to put them all in a special folder that's going to act as the hard drive for DOSBox. So here I've got all three zip files here in a folder called DOSBox, which is under my user directory, and you just need to unzip them. On Mac OS, you just double click them. It's very similar on Windows, or maybe you want to use a popular unzip program like 7-zip. And once those are unzipped, you'll see those are the three folders. So the next thing to do is to start up DOSBox itself. Okay, so here I have DOSBox running, and the first thing I'm going to do is to go to full screen mode to really get that kind of DOS experience from way back when, and you do that pressing Alt and Enter. Okay, so here we are. It says drive Z. If you remember, this is how kind of the DOS thing works with C drive and D drive. And what you need to do is you need to mount that directory that we had, that DOSBox directory. Now on OS 10, you do mount C /DOSBox. On DOS, on Windows, you would put in there maybe a similar thing, or if it's on another drive, you know, F:, just like you would to find the path for those files. And that now says drive C is mounted on the local directory users Gary DOSBox, which is that file that I've created. If we now go to the C drive, type C:dir to get a directory, and here we can see Arkanoid, Doom, and Elite. So let's first of all go into Arkanoid. You can press tab for command line completion, and then we can do a dir, and I think if we run ar.bat, that will run the program. Now here we can see we can use CGA, EGA, or Tandy. EGA is the best, and we're going to use the keyboard, and up comes our game, and now we should be able to play it. There we go. And here we go, and there we got a bit of classic. Oh, there you go. Shows you how good I am at this. Okay. In fact, I'm not very good at all, am I? Let's at least try and get one bounce back. No, I didn't even manage that. Okay, on to the next game. Okay, so we go upper directory, back into the C drive, and now we can go into Elite. And again, the same thing, we just run Elite. Okay, and we'll go with line drawn. That's what I like. Okay, so here we are, the classic Elite game. We won't go into it now. If you don't know how to play these games, there's lots of tutorials online that you can see how to play them. You can buy things and then you can kind of see your galactic map, and you can kind of just go off, and we can even launch. And here we go, now we're launching, and we can spin round and see the space station that we just left. And I'm sure I'm going to crash into it. Yep, there we go, I crashed into it and died. But there you go, that is how you play Elite. Okay, then we go upper directory, and now we're going to go into the Doom directory. Now this one needs actual installation, so we type in install, and that will say where do you want to install it. Yes, on the C drive. Yes, in Doom S, S there being for shareware. Yes, please go ahead and create that directory. That happens there pretty quick, and then actually after that it will bring up a setup program which allows you to configure the sound and so on. Okay, so we'll go with keyboard only, and then here on my Mac, for some reason the Sound Blaster stuff doesn't work. If you were configuring the Sound Blaster, you need to select the port address, and then also you need to select the IRQ and the DMA channel. Now you can find all of those in the configuration file that goes along with DOSBox, and I've got that open already. There are instructions on the website on how you find the preference file for each platform, for Windows, for Linux, and so on. And here it sees it's Sound Blaster 16, base address of 220, IRQ 7, and DMA 1. Now, on my Mac, for some reason, it doesn't work. On my Windows PC, this does work, and it's not a problem. But so what I'm going to do is I'm going to go back in here and just say no music and no sound for either of those. In fact, I think for one of them, yeah, PC speaker is a better option. And then we can, let's put this back into full screen mode, and we're going to launch Doom. If you want to run that program at any other time, you just type setup in the Doom directory, in the Doom S directory where it was installed. And now here we go, new game. Okay, and we can increase the screen size there, you can see, for helping with the graphics just by pressing the plus key. And here we are, control keys to move, and the control key to fire. And let's just go up here and get the vest. Now this is classic retro gaming. We won't play much more, but there you have it, a game, classic retro gaming playing in your DOSBox. I'm Gary Sims, and this is Gary Explains. I really hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please do give it a thumbs up. We're really trying to build the community here, so please do subscribe to the channel. Please leave a comment below about this video and about any other videos you think I should be covering here on this channel. And as for me, I'll see you in the comments, and I'll see you in my next video.